Here are 5 of the biggest mistakes when growing garlic to avoid if you want to get a good harvest and big bulbs. The first mistake to avoid is one that we made our very first season growing garlic, and that cost us all of our garlic. One year we were planting garlic, and since we couldn't get garlic anywhere else, we bought garlic from the grocery store to plant. We planted them in the fall, hoping for a huge harvest, but the next spring, most of the garlic died and never came up. Garlic from the grocery store is often soft-neck garlic, but the garlic that we were supposed to be growing is hard-neck garlic. A way to check though for which garlic you have is you could take one of your garlic and bust it open. And when you bust it open, if you have a hard-neck garlic, you'll see a stem that is very hard. A soft-neck garlic will either have a soft stem or no stem at all. Now, once you have your garlic selected, you'll want to prepare your cloves. And the best way to do that is by doing this part inside. Now we're inside, and I have some garlic cloves here that have already been breaking apart, but I have these extra bulbs for if I need extra. And what you want to do is you want to take all the big cloves that you have and put them into one pile, and all the small cloves into a separate pile. And also, as you're going through your garlic, if you see any garlic that is like this one has its peel removed, and this one is still okay for planting, but if it had a brown spot on it, then you wouldn't want to plant that. When it comes to planting garlic, the bigger the clove that you plant, the bigger the size of the bulb that you will reap. And that was the second mistake, planting small cloves of garlic. That brings me on to my next mistake, which avoiding it will increase the chances of all of your garlic being big. Garlic is a heavy feeder, and if you want them to produce a big bulb, you have to make sure that they get all the nutrients that they need. I like to do that by topping up my beds every year with fresh compost and cow manure, but as you can see, this bed is kind of low, and that's because I've been slacking off a bit and haven't done it for the past few seasons. And that's why I'm going to be doing it this time when I'm planting my garlic. Okay, that's the bed now done, and it's all filled, and I'm getting hot and tired. I'm gonna take this jacket off. And the third mistake was not amending your soil. A bonus tip if you want, and this is something that I've been experimenting a bit with this year, is that you could use some bone meal, about 1 tablespoon for each garlic you plant, to help increase the size of your garlic. Bone meal has phosphorus and will help with root development as well as the bulbing of your garlic. I'm going to be experimenting more though with using bone meal and planting garlic. And if you want us to film the experiment, smash the like on this video. I'll also put some bone meal link in the description if you want to try it yourself. Anyway, since the bed is prepped now, we're going to plant some garlic. But first, that brings me on to my fourth mistake, which is not planting your garlic in the optimal spot. Garlic need full sun in order to produce a big bulb. So you want to plant your garlic in the most sunniest spot that gets at least 6 to 8 hours of sunshine each day. And as you can see, it's not an issue with this bed. So we'll continue with planting our garlic. I got a scrap 6-inch board that I found laying around in our garden. So I'm going to use it to help me mark where I'm going to plant my garlic. So what I do is I lay it on the surface of the bed, and I just move it back and forth to make a line for where I'm going to plant my garlic. Like that. Then measure again. One more. And then we do it for the next side. Now I have my bed marked out for 6-inch spacing, and what I'm going to do next is I got this piece of wood, and I'm going to be using it to make some holes in the center where each line intersect. So as you can see, there's one line going here, one line going here, and right in the center here, we're going to make a hole like that. We're gonna do it for each one. Line here, here, hole. So we're just gonna continue this for the entire bed. Just a little side fun fact I wanted to tell you guys about is that, did you know that if you're planting just soft neck garlic, you can plant the garlic in the ground and they could be sideways, pointed down, or upside down, and they'll still grow the same? If you know you're only planting soft neck garlic, then it actually doesn't matter which way you plant it. But for hard neck garlic, the rule is that you want to make sure that the pointy side is facing up and the flat side goes into the ground. I'm by the shed now, which brings us on to our fifth mistake. And as you could have seen earlier, with all the cardboard that was in the background as I was planting my garlic, we put the cardboard down in summer after harvesting our garlic to keep the weeds from coming up. Garlic hates competition, and if you want to grow the biggest bulb, you'll want to put down a layer of mulch. To do that, I like using straw mulch, but you could also use leaves, as it's coming to the time around fall when they will be in great abundance. Plus, as a bonus, the straw will also protect your garlic as insulation from the cold. I finished covering the bed with mulch, and now that brings me on to my next mistake. Some people think that you have to plant your garlic in the spring. But planting your garlic in the spring, there's just not enough time for them to grow big. So you want to be planting your garlic in the fall. You want to plant your garlic 4 to 6 weeks before the ground freezes and is solid. Garlic takes approximately 9 months to grow from the time you plant them. So get your garlic planted, and if you know a friend who is also planting garlic, share this video with them. Goodbye!